Cold calling is brutal. I think we all know that having that sheer discipline through all those rejections and trying to land clients, it's painful, but it does work. It is a direct one-to-one communication with potential prospects. But what if we can get the same results of cold calling without having to cold call ourselves? And that is what this AI cold calling system I made simulates. Now, a quick disclaimer. AI can't be as good as a normal person. However, AI does work 24/7 around the clock, doesn't need a salary, doesn't need a break, and doesn't have that fear of rejection or that fatigue that normal people do have. So, if you want to up the sheer volume of your calls or just leverage AI to do the cold calling for you while you work on other things for your business, then this system is perfect to scale your business. So in this video, we'll go through a quick demo. I'll show you an inbound lead form and how we set up an automation to trigger that outbound cold call. And then we're going to show how the AI personalizes the cold calling script to those data points from the inbound lead form. And then we're going to see an email notification to you, to like the business owner, that shows a summary of the cold call, the selling/buying intent, the qualification of the prospect. We're going to show how it integrates with your CRM. Then I'm going to go through a step-by-step full walkthrough of how you can build this thing yourself. And I know that's a lot of technical stuff to take in. Just bear with me and let's get into the demo. So we start off with this inbound form simulation. For this use case, I'm simulating an inbound form for a real estate company where someone is interested in valuating their property. And this form was built on tally.so. So very sick form building platform. They handle deployment. There's API integrations. I really recommend it if you want to build a form very quick and easy. But this is just to simulate an inbound form. Someone puts in their property address. We can put in like this one. They put in more details about their property, reason of selling, name, email number, get your estimate. Thank you, Ali. We will call you to inform your estimated property valuation at this number. Press submit and our secretary will shoot you a call. So as soon as I click submit, we're gonna trigger an API call to our voice agent. There's a 10-second delay, so it feels a bit real. So if we click submit, the cold call will commence.
Hey, this is Amy from Coldwell Banker. Am I speaking to Ali?
Yeah, this is Ali.
Great to connect with you, Ali. I'm following up regarding your property at 112 Clara Street in Thorold. We have an estimated valuation of $350,000 for your townhouse. How does that align with your expectation?
Yeah, actually I heard from other sources that it's about 600 to 700K, so that's pretty low actually.
I appreciate your input, Ali. The valuation can vary based on different factors. Can you share more about your property or any recent upgrades that might influence its value?
Yeah, it's in brand new, fully furnished condition. Like we've been taking very great care of it and everything is ready to go. It's fully constructed. So yeah, very high quality place.
That sounds fantastic, Ali. A well-maintained, fully furnished townhouse can definitely attract a higher valuation. Since you're moving across the country and looking to sell ASAP, have you thought about how quickly you'd like to get the process started?
Well, like you said, ASAP, we need it as soon as possible. And that's why we're looking for buyers. If I need help finding a buyer very, very urgently.
I understand the urgency, Ali. Coldwell Banker has a team of experienced agents who can help you find a buyer quickly. Would you like to speak with one of our agents to discuss your options further?
Yeah, please.
Transferring the call now.
At the end of that cold call, we do have an email automation where we are sending a summary of the call to, myself or the business owner or whatever the scenario is. It just gives us a breakdown of the key points of the call. And I've also made it so that the AI tries to estimate a selling intent of the user so we know how serious the prospect is. So whenever a cold call successfully completes, you know exactly how they are going and you are notified on exactly how the AI is performing. Next up, we have a CRM integration. Just a simple database like Airtable. It could be, HubSpot or any CRM you're using. But we are sending all that form data over here. And we are getting the cold call summary as well in here. And you can break this cold call summary into more useful data points. Like the selling intent could just be a number value by itself. But yeah, you can connect the voice agent to your CRM and make updates on automation. We also have our agent dashboard, and this shows us the recordings of the call, how the call went, the transcription of the call, the summary of the call, the cost breakdown, and all the details you need to know on how the AI is performing. As you saw, the AI is pretty powerful. It can handle conversations and personalize those responses. But at the end of the day, a human-to-human connection, I don't think that's replaceable. But you can replace like 50,000 calls a month. If you have like a team of cold callers just pumping out calls, you can increase that volume and filter out those salespeople that aren't performing as well with this AI agent. Definitely a system that can help you scale. And let's get into how to build it yourself. So that form that I built was built on tally.so. Very simple to use. You just create a new form. You give it a title. You can put your logo on it. You add in some questions. You can start off with a template. We're just going to head over to the one that I already created, which is this one. If we click on the link, you can go over here, copy paste that in. And I guess I'll leave the link down below. You can actually fill the form out yourself and try out that cold calling experience. So I will leave the link down below and you can actually try my AI cold caller yourself. But anyways, yeah, I built this form out. It takes in those inputs and you press submit. So the way it works is we have the integrations tab over here on our form, and I've set up a webhook that on submit, we're sending that webhook to this make.com URL. And it doesn't have to be make.com. You can use a custom code solution that, you deploy with AWS or something, and you just have code doing it. This is just so much easier. And make.com does have the pricing limitation. There are two make.com scenarios powering this build. The first one is the actual cold calling trigger. This is the outbound automation we have here. It starts out with a tally trigger. And the way it works is when someone presses submit, all that form data is coming into this workflow. The first thing we do is insert the data into our CRM. I'm using Airtable for this example. We're just either creating or updating a record in the database. Next, I'm using GPT to estimate the property value. This is just to simulate the lead magnet, which is the property valuation estimator. It's nothing sophisticated. I just prompted GPT, you are an expert property valuation estimator. You're going to receive an address with more property details. Respond only with the valuation. If you cannot estimate, output error. So we're just giving in the property details we received on the form. And this is that 5-second delay that I have here for the realism effect. You can make this 300 seconds, so you can have a 5-minute delay. So in a practical sense, the customer gets a call. He doesn't feel like, okay, like if it's immediate, it's suspicious. But a 5-minute delay that feels more realistic. So we just have that delay over here. And now we're making an API request to Vapi.ai. We have our API key over here. And this is the actual cold call initiating data. So we have our assistant ID, the phone number ID that the assistant is calling with. Then we have the customer details, like the phone number we're going to call with the AI, the name of the customer, and then we have custom variables that our cold calling AI is using. So we're giving it the name of the customer, the reason of the sale, the urgency of the sale, the property type, the property address, the bedroom, the washroom, the conditions, the valuation. And I'm using these variables in the prompt of the actual cold calling AI. So let's head over to Vapi.ai. And let's see how that cold calling AI actually works. So here we are on dashboard.vapi.ai. We first start out. So the way Vapi works is you just give it a system prompt to your AI agent on how it should behave. And you give it a first message that the AI will say on the phone call. You can add custom functions that the AI can actually call dynamically during the phone call, and I'll show you how it works. And to actually connect the agent to a phone number, you have to go to the phone number side on the left here. You can either buy a number directly from Vapi, or you can import a number from Twilio or Vonage. So all I've done is I bought a number, and very simple. All you do is click buy number. It costs $2 a month for a number. Now we go on to our assistants, and on this agent, you can see I have these curly brackets over here. The line is, hey, this is Amy from Coldwell Banker. Am I speaking to name? So in that API request on our make.com scenario, I'm actually passing in the name as a custom variable. So if you check out the Vapi docs, you'll see that you can use these double braced strings to represent custom variables the assistant can use, and that's done through the API call. So we have the name that's being dynamically rendered, and I just realized I didn't put in the name correctly over there, but we have our role. So the way you want to prompt AI is by sectioning different parts of it. So this is a bit of prompt engineering 101. We first give the AI a role, and this just is an overview of the AI's personality. Then we have the actual task it has to do, which is engaging with name through the follow-up call to get a deeper understanding of their situation. The purpose is to figure out if they're a qualified lead for Coldwell Banker. A qualified lead is someone who has a property to sell, shows interest in selling, wants to learn more, is in need of a real estate agent, would like to talk to one of our real estate agents. So you can obviously alter these qualified criteria as you like, and we are telling it to use the personal variables to make the phone call more realistic. And at the end of the phone call, you're going to call your custom tool prospect info save, which is another make.com automation that's saving the data into the CRM, but we'll go into that later on. So the purpose of the call is to qualify the lead and create that automation where we're getting the summary of the call and the call details into the company system. There's a call transfer tool, which is where the phone call can be transferred to a real estate agent in real time during the phone call. And then we have that function, which is the actual saving of the data in this company system. This call transfer tool and this prospect info save, we're prompting the AI in when and how you should use these tools. You want your prompts to be role, the task they're completing, the more specifics about the task, the different functions they have available to use, and some extra notes to make the prompt even better. So to create these two tools, the call transfer tool is already built in with Vapi. All you want to do is go into functions, and all you have to do is put in a forwarding phone number here. And whenever the person says forward, please connect me to a real person, Vapi automatically has that forwarding phone number built in. Now, the prospect info save tool is a custom function that you can make on Vapi as well. If you head over to the tool section over here, you can click on create a new tool, give your tool a name, give a prompt to the tool that lets the AI know how the tool works and when to use it. You put in a integration. So you can put in an endpoint, a custom endpoint, a make.com endpoint that the AI will call. Then we give some more details of the tool, like how it's going to be used. It's already up there actually. Then the interesting part is you can pass in custom variables into the tool. So this tool takes in a variable called prospect details, and we're just telling the AI to take in all the relevant details of the call for the purpose of qualifying the prospect into this variable that's being sent to our make.com automation. You need a system prompt. If you want custom variables to make the call better, you can do that with the curly braces. The transcriber and the voice, you can leave these on the default options. You don't have to mess around with them. If you want to make it more specific to your needs, you can choose different voices. You can even put in your own voice if you play around with 11 Labs. And the transcriber is deepgram. There's different transcribing models. So, and you have the custom functions that Vapi allows you to create as well. You can go into advanced. You can configure more things like what counts as a silence, what's the maximum duration of the call. So, and there's a server URL. Okay, this is another important point. So make.com allows certain events in the phone call to be passed to a server URL that you put over here. So one example is the end of call report. When the call finishes, Vapi will send an API request to this make.com scenario with an end of call report. And all I'm doing is taking this end of call report, prompting GPT to summarize the call and calculate a selling or qualifying score, a selling intent for the user. And then it's taking that data and saving it into the CRM and sending out that email automation that you saw. So let's get into make.com, and I'll show you this, how the server URL is actually working over there and how we're creating those automations. This is the end of call report scenario. It's simply an endpoint that I put into the server URL field in Vapi. I'm taking in those details and I'm telling GPT to summarize the call and calculate a selling intent between a number of 0 and 100. 0 means there's absolutely zero intent to sell the property. 100 means they are definitely interested in selling the property. And just output the analysis of the call and the selling intent. Then we're going into Airtable. We're figuring out which record in our CRM corresponds to the user that's already in the CRM, because in the original automation, we created that record, so we know it exists. So we find the record that corresponds to the cold call, and then we're updating that record with the cold call summary. So if I wanted to, I could just extract the selling intent and create a new field and put that number over there. That's completely possible. And you can completely customize this entire system for your own needs. Like if you're a dentistry, if you're a education platform, an e-commerce platform, you can customize the system. This is just a specialized example for real estate. And at the end of the scenario, we have that CRM update. Then we're sending an email automation to ourselves, or this could be the CEO of the company or the sales manager, whatever it is. And you're just telling it, this is the summary of the call that the GPT figured out. So really, that's the entire build. You do need to know how to prompt Vapi and how to use make.com. And I do have other videos that go in depth on how to do that. But this is how you can automate your cold calling systems, personalize the phone calls with those custom variables, and save that info into your CRM and send an email automation to yourself. And with this approach, you can get thousands of phone calls in a single day without you touching the phone. That's the power behind this. You can replace a lot of sales employees who don't have that skill, save yourself a lot of money and a lot of time. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of the build. Hope you gained some value. Talk soon.